The most interesting man in the sport of basketball just signed a guaranteed deal with the Phoenix Suns. Nigel Hayes-Davis, at the age of 30, just got his big opportunity. And his story is a story of grit, of hard work, of perseverance. And I just love seeing when hard work gets rewarded in the long haul. I think he should have been rewarded a long time ago because he's been dominating. I shouldn't say dominating, but playing really, really well in the EuroLeague for years now. And I don't think I've ever seen a player transform their bodies and their games like I have Nigel Hayes, from his journey in college to now in the pros. He's not the same player that a lot of Wisconsin fans saw back in the day. Not at all. But let's give you a brief synopsis of Nigel's story. He was a top 100 recruit coming out of high school, went to the University of Wisconsin, had a decorated career for 4 years there, went undrafted in 2017, had a really nice rookie year, mostly in the G League in 2017, 2018. Had a cup of tea in the NBA where he played 9 games for 3 different teams. Didn't do all that much in those 9 games, but ever since the 18-19 season, he's been overseas, working at his craft, improving, and the reason why I call him the most interesting dude or the most interesting man in the sport of basketball is just because he is. Like, he's the kind of guy who listens to classical music before his games. Like, right? Most people are listening to rock and roll, to rap, whatever it is to get them pumped up. Listen to classical music. He's a vegan. He's never drank alcohol. He's lost nearly 30 pounds since his senior year of college. He's a big personality. He had viral moments throughout college.
Okay. Gosh, he's beautiful. Did you hear that?
All right, so we'll open it up to questions.
He's super intelligent. He's got a ridiculous work ethic. Like, I'm talking about a guy who was known for getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning after sleeping for 3 or 4 hours and working on his ball handling, working on his shooting, tweaking his shot form when everybody else was sleeping, right? He kind of adapted that Mamba mentality. He was a big Kobe Bryant guy. And one of his college teammates, another fun story, one of his college teammates tore his ACL, and as he was rehabbing it, Nigel would join him for the exercises, and he called it prehab exercises to prevent injuries from happening. So, interesting guy. Came out with his own clothing brand, invented his own portable hot dog griller, got it all patented. But talking about his journey and talking about how he's transformed his game in college, he was largely known as a bruiser, as a tank. At 18 years old, coming into Wisconsin, like, he was 250 pounds. He started his game off at Wisconsin, mid-range, post, and then he expanded as a sophomore, kind of slimmed down, started shooting 3, shot nearly 40% from 3 on just over 100 attempts, I believe. Off the top of my head, I think that's what it was. Really improved, and his freshman, sophomore year played key parts on teams that made it all the way to the Final Four and the runner-up for the national championship. And then he decided not to go to the NBA draft, and in hindsight, Nigel has said in interviews, like, I should have went to the draft after my sophomore year of college, but he didn't. Before his junior year, people thought, hey, he's going to have a great year, he's going to dominate, and then he's going to go pro. But that's not exactly what happened, right? And I told you about Nigel's work ethic. He worked super hard, but you can make the argument in college he worked a little bit too hard as he kept tinkering with his form, and he went from shooting almost 40% as a sophomore to shooting 29% from 3 as a junior and 31% from 3 on fewer attempts as a senior. He shot 36% from the field at 6'8", 250 pounds as a junior. Like, somehow he still made the first team All Big Ten squad. Like, his junior and senior year, when he was the guy, it wasn't a seamless transition. And I think basketball is a game where shooting, especially in today's day and age, makes the world go round. It makes the game so much easier. You can be as good as you want in all these different areas. Like, Nigel was a jack of all trades in college, master of none. I could say maybe he was the master in the post. Like, he had elite footwork, and he's a guy who relies a lot on craftiness, savviness, skill, footwork, technique, angles. He's not a guy who gets a lot of easy buckets just from getting by his guy like it's nothing, laying it in. It'll be a lot of stop, starts, pump fake, pivot. He wasn't a bad athlete, but at the NBA level, he definitely was an explosive athlete. But at the NBA Combine, kind of echoing my point, right after his junior year, he went through the draft process and had the worst max vert at 28 inches, the second worst standing vert, I believe, at 25.5 inches. He did that at about 245 pounds. And then a year later, just kind of a testament to his work ethic, he comes back to the Combine and got his vertical jump up 5 inches to 33. He also was a tank, like I mentioned before. 250 pounds right away as a freshman. He got back to 254 at the NBA Combine after his senior year in 2017. And what I think makes up for his lack of vertical ability, which was improved, but what makes up for it, he's got a great wingspan. 7'3" wingspan, and with that 7'3" wingspan, he repped out 16 reps of 185, which is ridiculous. And I don't want to hear any of you 5'10" dudes who are like, oh, I can do 185 for 16 in my sleep. Doing 185 for 16 at 22 years old with a 7'3" wingspan as a basketball player is kind of ridiculous. So his game a lot was brute force, being a jack of all trades, being able to shoot a bit, ball handle, pass, play high IQ basketball, score in the post, just did a little bit of everything. But I think the fact that he wasn't a specialist in anything is why he didn't get drafted, and especially because he just didn't shoot well. But you fast forward to today, it's a total 180. It's not even the same guy. He doesn't even look like the same guy physically. He is about 30 pounds lighter now. He is lean and mean, and he is more agile because of that. But he also is a knockdown three-point shooter, and that's what he's known for now. Is he's a knockdown three-point shooter who actually, as the focal point on his team in the EuroLeague, which is the second best league in the world, more competitive than college where he struggled as the focal point. He put up big-time numbers, and he led his team to the championship this past year. Was All-EuroLeague First Team back-to-back years in 2024 and 2025. He flipped the script as a shooter pretty early on. Like, he went from a poor shooter junior, senior of college to his first year in the G League. He shot 43% from three on 5 attempts per game. Like, it was like, where was that in college? But Stat Reference has his numbers in the EuroLeague and overseas at 47% from the field and 39.5% from three throughout his career. I just told you, as a junior in college, he shot 36% from the field. Like, that's actually an unbelievable evolution. But going from a guy who did a lot of his work in the post with physicality to a guy with much more, he was always crafty and savvy, but more finesse now. That footwork didn't leave him. Like, he will still burn you with footwork, but he's not the same bulldozer that he was. And in this past season in the EuroLeague, he averaged 16.7 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, shot 41% from three. And may I remind you that he's averaging 16 points per game in the EuroLeague. They play 40-minute games, right? And the average team score is from 80 to 85 points. So, and he also broke the EuroLeague scoring record in 2024 with 50 points. I believe he paid $1 million to get out of his contract, and he could have earned roughly $7 million overseas, but he's taking a big pay cut to fulfill his dream in the NBA, and I love to see that. He's going to be making around $2 million in the NBA. And what will his strengths be? He's savvy, as I mentioned before. His skills are very good at 6'8". Good passer, willing passer, quality ball handler. Like I said, jack of all trades. Lengthy. He's a knockdown shooter. That's the biggest thing. He's a knockdown shooter, high IQ player, solid defender, will buy into his role. He's not going to be trying to do too much out there. He was at his best his freshman, sophomore year at Wisconsin when he was a role player, not the main guy. High-level footwork, won't cause problems off the court, and he's got a ridiculous work ethic. He's going to keep getting better. And what are his weaknesses? Limited explosiveness. He won't earn easy buckets at the NBA level. He's going to be more of a catch-and-shoot guy. Maybe he can attack some closeouts here and there. He was a true tweener back in the day. Now I feel like he's more of a small forward. He's not that brute force, brute strength guy playing power forward. He's more of a small forward. And I wonder, my question is he athletic enough to play small forward at the NBA level? That's my question for him. But I think he's best suited being a 3-and-D guy for a contender, for a playoff team. And do I think he'll be successful in the NBA? It's as simple as this. If he shoots the ball well, he'll be successful. That's what I think. It's very simple in my eyes, but love seeing perseverance pay off. Just an insane story going from 255 pounds, brute strength, but now being more of a finesse 3-and-D guy. But I love seeing perseverance pay off, and I think it will pay off. I think Nigel will have success as long as he shoots well in the NBA. And that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is your first video with me, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, more stories like this, and I'll see you next time.